Hello and welcome to today's video as we cover the AD carry spot laners as we head to MSI 2026. This group, more like the jungle group than the top and mid. There are probably nearly a handful of very good AD carries here and a solid second group, in my opinion. So the stats we talk about: KDA, KP, CS per minute, damage divided by gold, share differential, vision, efficiency, gold difference, XP difference, which both gold difference and XP difference, that is combined with the support because they are a duo. Solo kills per game, champions played per game. So, first we have KDA. Viper's not dying, IU doesn't die, Eddie doesn't die. That's good. You don't want to die, right? Dying is bad. So, pretty cut and dry there. Jackie Love, Guma, Fung, all lead. Well, no lead, I guess, have lead in the worst KDA, which isn't a surprise for Jackie, but Guma is. Guma's KDA is on struggle street relative to everyone else at this event. Does he die a lot? No, but it is not great. Kill participation. Who is present for their team's kills? Now, the difference isn't all that great. Pays 2 out of every 3. IU, significantly higher, 71%. So we got 71, then 67. I mean, a 4% swing between first and second, but then between second and 11th, it's 7%. So it's significant. IU nearly 2 out of every 3 to 3 out of every 4 kills. Furia fight around him. If you look at Furia's kill participations on the Furia preview, they are unique in that they all kind of fight around each other, except Gigo is more so. I think he has a 60 KP, but everyone else is like 70%. So clearly fighting with each other. And that's a big thing to note. Whereas Addy, Yeon, and Han Sama, so Team Secret Whales, Team Liquid G2, not incorporating the bot lane as much. 3 out of every 5 kills, which is a big difference. CS per minute. Kalist is by himself at 10.6. The next highest is 10.2, and a few people have it. So 10.6 CS per minute, a lot of farm, a good baseline of farm. That's how I view CS. It is, nearly guaranteed gold, right? What is a guaranteed gold? It is farm. Fang, 9.6. They're giving up 1 CS per minute to Kalist on average, with the assumption the LEC is equal to the LCS and LCP in terms of bot lane duos, and I would argue that's not the case. So that is a problem for 2 teams that are also going to have to face Kalist in the play-in round. IU also 9.7. Not great, but he did have a Scion game in there, which will affect things. ROI. This number is very much affected by this, right? Baseline gold. This is damage divided by gold. So the higher baseline you're going to get of gold, the harder it is to lead in this category for damage. But Viper 1.66, Pays 1.68. They lead in terms of damage divided by gold, giving their team value. Now, the value is better shown in share differential, but those 2 are the highest. We have Eddie at 1.56, 1.57 for Kalist, 1.53 for Hans. This is a bigger difference than you'd think. You'd think 4 hundredths. How big of a difference is that? Well, you have a half a CS per minute difference. So factor in that gold. So the damage output is quite a bit different. Just between even these 2 players that are at the lower end of the spectrum when it comes to ROI, which is an LEC thing as well. High farm, not a lot of damage. Share differential. What's your impact for the team relative to that gold share they're giving you? And it's low, 2.2, 2.1, 1.7. So not giving the team nearly as much damage as you're taking in gold as the AD carry. A weak side AD carry, that's fine. But then you have to consider, are these players actually weak side AD carries? I mean, Han Sama very much so at 60, but you might consider, Kalist 64. I mean, it's not that big of a difference in terms of kill participation, but the share differential is low. Berserker, though, 5.1. I said in the Lion video, I was going to talk about him more now. He is the 1v9 AD carry on the board. Now it's, I guess, 2v8 because of Inspired, but in terms of 1v9 output this year so far, that's Berserker. I mean, 30% damage share. I don't think anyone else at this event has 30% damage share, especially in the 80 carry role. So really, that's where all the damage is coming from for Lion. So take him away as the enemy, and where are they going to get damage from? We'll see, because it ain't coming really from others, at least in this season thus far. Jackie 3.5 as well, dealing a lot of damage for top esports. Vision efficiency, vision score divided by wards placed. This is also improved when you clear wards. Keep that in mind. Jackie 3.84. It seems year after year, Jackie's one of the best at vision, taking away enemy vision and figuring out where the fuck the enemy is with his ward placement. It's very good. Hansama pays also high. Fang, Guma, Viper at the lower end of things, not as efficient. Gold difference, XP difference, pays and Carrier. 600 gold, 400 XP ahead. That's not a surprise. That is the best bot lane duo at this event. Berserker, 395, 213 alongside Isles. Very dominant at the LCS level. Eddie, 464 ahead. 184. Dominant at the LCP level. Eddie and BA are very, very good together. But then we look at the lower end of things. Jackie Love and Fang Yu behind 135 gold. Top esports, statistically, I don't think they've ever been statistically this bad going into an event with how, top esports have struggled at international events. Going into this one, like stats-wise, it's like, wow, they are not very good right now. They've not been good this year overall, which you got to keep in mind. They've made a lot of roster changes, but still. This is just spring for them. Guma behind 27 XP. I mean, but Kalist, negative 57.29 alongside Busio. My expectations for Kalist and Busio are higher than I feel like a lot of fans are, because they give these guys a lot of breaks. Oh, look at how great they did this, that, and what. Yeah, but if they end up with a negative 57, that means they're behind in a lot of games too. And that needs to be noted just as much as the successes, if we want to claim to not be biased, of course. If we don't care, then that's whatever. But I expect more out of this. This is not acceptable out of that bot lane. They have to do much better at this event. Fang and Shaoxi, 21 and 78, also struggling. But my expectations are not nearly as high as it would be for Kalist. Busio. Solo kills per game. Eddie, 1 and 5. Very aggressive. A very aggressive 80 carry. Guma, 1 and 7. Also aggressive. Finding outplays. Hansama only has 1 solo kill this season thus far, I believe. And Yeon also has only a couple. Could be wrong. But I guess a few. Because he's got 1 and 20, 1 and 12. Champions played. IU's played only 58 games, so it helps because Viper's played 100. But IU plays a new champion every 4 games. Viper plays one every 6 games in terms of new champions. Jackie Love, wide champion pool, but he's only played 1 split. Berserker, 1 and 5. 1 and 4, that's pretty good. So, champions played. Really, we're going to see on the next board here in a second that the champion diversity really isn't a thing in the 80 carry role right now. So, let's get to that. Okay, so for champions, if this is the first video you're watching, if this is the 4th or more video, you've heard this already, but buffed players. You see Eddie at 17%. What does that mean? That means he has played Aphelios, Draven, Kai'Sa, or Tristana in 17% of his games played for 24, 25, and 26 thus far. He is the most buffed by patch 16.12 and 16.13. Because these are the 480 carries that have been buffed on those 2 patches. Now, whether you think it's going to stick, I don't really give a fuck. The point is, what's a buff, what's a nerf? Just whatever Riot claims it is, and we'll see if people actually play him or not. Hansama, 15%. It's not very high. We're going to see if the meta shifts. This could indicate a meta shift, something that we haven't seen in a couple of years out of these players, if these champions are what they go with. Because even Viper, it's less than 10%. Kalist, Jackie Love, Guma, 1 in 20. 1 in 20 games almost on these 4 champions in the last 2.5 seasons. Nerfed. What have you played this split? Because what are we nerfing? What you're playing right now. What's strong right now? Sana and Varus have been nerfed. Eddie, 14% of his champion pool. 1 in 8 games has been on those champions. 1 in 7. But 1 in 10. So really, the AD carry role, not all that nerfed, but we added some new options here. And I know Varus essentially has been, I mean, the sentiment has been pretty much knocked out of the meta. But we'll see what happens, what might replace it out of these champions. Unique, and Jackie Love has a 0% because he's only played in Spring, and Senna and Varus have not been his thing. Only 3 unique picks. Guma played Draven already this year. Only player at this event to play Draven this season. So that's a thing, and it's buffed. And then Ayu played Scion. You'd be like, why do you have Scion on there? It's more so to kind of note that JoJo played, I believe he played a Senna. So the support, they flexed the Senna to support, and Ayu was content playing in Scion, which has been nerfed, so it might not even be a thing anyways. Yasuo, also played by Ayu, which he plays a few times a year. So that is a thing. Yasuo bot is a thing with Furia. So, yeah. Now, let's rank these players. First, we have Fang. The stat line leaves a lot to be desired, and he's at a lower, he's at a lower region. We'll see how he does. I've only seen him play in LCP. I can't say I've ever seen him play internationally because, was it 2022? Nah, was it with Beyond Gaming? I'm trying to remember. Maybe I have. 10th is going to be Eddie. Eddie needs to deal more damage and be more present for what the team's doing. I think he's, like, hands-wise better than 10th, but it needs to actually come through. It needs to come through and happen, because the damage numbers aren't great. The share differentials are great. Laning is great, but it's at a lower level of play. So we'll see how they do at this event, because they are immediately in the upper group, and that's a thing. That's a thing. Next, I'm going to place Ayu. And I almost want to say I've seen some people put like JoJo in the upper half of the group of supports at this event. JoJo may, I mean, Ayu's a good player. I think he's very good, CB LoL standards. And has shown the ability to carry at times. I need to see more at this event. I don't give a rat's ass what he did against Cloud9 in the Rift Rivals that we saw. Very involved in what his team does, but low farm numbers is a baseline. That's not great. But doesn't die. Doesn't die. Shows up. But at the same time, I think at this event, we have a lot of solid 80 carries. So you could rank IU a little higher, but I think right now that's where I have him. That's where I have him. So, 8th, I have Yeon. This is all. I mean, this is not going to be a surprise to anybody, really. I think these power rankings here, this is going to be the least chaotic. Yeon, I mean, he's solid. But at the same time, I think that he was outmatched at this event. I think he's solidly the 3rd best AD carry in the play-ins. And, I mean, that's not a big thing to say. I really don't think so. So, Yeon's 8th. I don't really have much to put on that besides that, because it's just like, you know, like, what is there to say? What is there to say? Now, this is where things get tough, because it's hard because my expectations for Kalist are much higher than what he is doing. So that's kind of because I've said it hundreds of times. Kalist is going to be the best Western AD carry. It's just a matter of when. It is not now. So you end up in a tough spot here because Berserker honestly is playing very, very well, and he has the 1v9 threat that the others don't. But he's playing in LCS. So I'm going to put Berserker like 7th, but honestly I think he could be 5th. I think he could be 5th, but I'm going to put him 7th. You can put him in any order. Dominating LCS 80 bot lanes is not overly shocking, The 1v9 carry threat that he offers in damage is something nobody else at this event offers. So it really means he's doing the most heavy lifting in damage out of anybody at this event. Undeniably, it's shown in damage share. So, people can get butthurt about it, but that's the fact of the matter. Now, this is where I'm going to go Callist 6th, which is going to surprise people because I'm 90% sure the World Cup team has Hans off of it. But Callist 6th, Hans 5th. And this is where just Callist is not meeting my expectations. I expect him to be that one. I expect him to be that threat. To be dealing big damage and using that gold more. 2.1% is not great. Hans is at 2.2, but Hans is also providing a lot of utility and vision efficiency. He's doing better in the vision department. He's doing better in the early game. There's a 372 gold difference between him and Lebrov versus Callist and Busio. And I think Callist and Busio, like I said about Callist, Busio can be the best Western support. Like, that can be the best bot lane duo in the West, hands down. It is not performing like it. It is not performing like it. So I am critical of them because of that. Like, at this event, there's, like, they need, like, going toe-to-toe with Pays and Carrier is going to be tough. But how they handle that is going to be telling. It's going to be telling. You've had plenty of time to prepare. So, prepare. Cook something up. We'll talk about Busio more tomorrow. But that's how I'm viewing that. 4th is Jackie. Jackie has some int in him, don't get me wrong, but deals a good amount of damage, good efficiency. Laning-wise, him and Feng Yu are kind of SOL. He's not alongside Mako anymore. But I think just hands, Jackie has to be 4th. Dies a lot, but what are you going to do? I think that he just is, he's fine. 2nd is Viper. 3rd is Viper. So this is probably because of his injury more than anything else. I've seen a lot of people suggest that he has a wrist injury. I haven't really paid attention enough to know that for sure. But I feel like he has left a bit to be desired at times. This split played uncharacteristic because he's in the conversation for best in the world. And I think you got 380 carries here that are in that group. So that's a thing. But Viper, excellent player, leads in ROI. Vision kind of sucks, but good KDA, is present. BLG are a strong team. Viper can just kind of go with the flow. They can carry from any direction, and that is huge. 2nd is Guma. Guma, obviously, great weak side 80 carry. We're just going to put Pays up here. Why wait? Because Pays, the day was going to come for Pays when he was going to be the best 80 carry in the world, and I think that's now. So, yeah. I've been saying that for a while, and it's reached it. Alongside Carrier, he's reached his full potential. But Guma, crazy good as well. Great weak side 80 carry. Can carry as well. Dying a lot, though. Vision isn't great. Him and Delight should be doing better. I have higher expectations for that bot lane. But Pays him in carry, of course. 600 gold, 400 XP ahead on average at 15 minutes. Great combinations in the 80 carry support roles. Just looking at the stats, leading in kill participation, damn near. Leading in damage divided by gold, up in vision, gold difference. And just watch him play. Pays is excellent. So, yeah. So this is the ranking. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.